My name is Professor James Dundas. I saw a video recently on a guy that showed a repair of a Benjamin rifle. It was a cutaway. He explained how it operated, and then he proceeded to repair another Benjamin rifle. And I felt he did an excellent job. I looked up to see if there was another video on YouTube, of course, if there was anyone that was repairing a Benjamin pistol. There was a guy that had a Benjamin 130, and I also have a Benjamin 130. There's where you tell the model number right on the breech. And he proceeded to take the muzzle plug screw out, which is right here. This is the muzzle plug. He had those out. He took this pin out. He was able to get this lever out. He couldn't get this lever out, and he thought that he was going to have to unbraze this. And oh no, you don't want to ruin that gun. So this is a video on how to repair a Benjamin model 130. And this particular model, there is the 130, which shoots .177 caliber BB. The 132, which is 22 caliber, and 137, which shoots a 1.77 pellet. Why would they have two models that shoot a .177 caliber that both shoot BBs or pellets? The 177 has a rifled barrel, which makes it far more accurate. The 130 doesn't. It's a smooth bore. So now, to get on with the repair of this, first thing you want to do is to look to see if everything is here. If you've just purchased this gun, some things you want to make sure is, one, that it's not loaded. And to do that, there's a locking mechanism right here. You can see that little pin. Rotate that back. Then just pull back and it cocks it. Taking a rod, obviously nothing in here. Another thing you want to do then is discharge it. I use a can with a rag in it, just make sure if there was anything in there. So now, this screw here, this is a breech screw, one on each side. Obviously this screw is here or this would fall off. The sight screw is there. Both of these screws are here. This is the safety right here. It should have a nice good snap to it. That's safe, that's not safe. It's ready to fire. Obviously we've already seen that the plug screw is there. The reason that I asked you to look at these is to make sure that if a screw is missing, you didn't notice it, is put the gun all back together and say, oh, I'm missing a screw. It was already missing before you started. Tools you're going to need to repair, we're going to start with the muzzle end, and that has a pump rod piston in it that you're going to see in just a minute. This is the only model, again, the 130, 132, and the 137 that has this pump rod piston. Okay, let's start. You need a screwdriver, of course. This will work. And something that's kind of handy that I would suggest is a little parts bowl. You put things in. Once you've got that out, then you can take this piston pin, this lever pin right here. This comes right out. Well, did you notice this has a notch in it? This notch has to go in like this and sets in here like this, so that screw locks this into position so this doesn't fall out. Next, this comes out. The muzzle plug just slides out. Pretty easy. Now, there is no top or bottom on this. This is where that one guy, he couldn't get this out. Well, obviously, he must have seen that there's a pin right here. That pin and this hole, the hole doesn't line up with the hole on the other side. It's offset. That's the whole secret of taking this out of here. Another tool you can make is just a big paper clip, and I kind of ground it down a little bit. What you need to do is take this screw, this pin, and see how I rotate it where you can barely see it. Like this, barely see it. Kind of hard to hold it like this and do this. But this pin, again, you have to rotate it so you can just barely see it. So when you do that, rotate it so where you can barely see it. You take the paper clip and wiggle a little, and it's out. And the lever comes out. If you don't do that, you aren't going to get it apart. Now, this comes out. This is the pump rod piston. All of the other Benjamins of the pre-65, they have the pump rod with the pump rod seal. This is very common. This is what's in the 100, 102, 107, the 177, the 122, the 110, the 112, and the 117, and the 150. They're all like this, and the 160. So you can get all these parts, but for this came, by the way, this came out of the 110, a 110, a 112, or a 117, which is really not a good Benjamin. It's the worst one they ever made, and maybe I'll make a video to explain to you why. This is the main problem. This is the muzzle plug, and they made it out of pot metal, and it has no integrity. It falls apart, it wears out really fast, and the way they designed the pumping mechanism, it bends this rod. So now, this is really important that you measure